Reporting for Jacksonville.com from the Houston Texans, Jacksonville Jaguars post-game. This is Gene Frenette of the Florida Times-Union with Jaguars beat writer Vito Stellino. After yet another heart-stomping victory for the Jaguars. And Vito, this 30-27 overtime win over the Texans, as much as the Jaguars felt collective relief after the win last week at Indianapolis, got to feel even more so today because the defense for the Jaguars got shredded up and down this field. But fortunately, the offense was able to bail them out with equal potency of its own.
No question. This was all on David Garrard. Fred Taylor and Maurice Jewell were kind of banged up, and they were, again, the Texans, like most teams, played him to stop the run, and so Garrard gets all the plaudits. But the strange thing after this game was the mood. The coach had to tell his post-game speech was celebrate the win, because they didn't really feel like there was a lot to celebrate, especially the defensive players. Mike Peterson said he came in the locker room ticked off, and Del Rio wouldn't even discuss the problems on defense. They got Pittsburgh and Denver coming up. They don't have a whole lot of time to fix this defense. They've got some problems.
Well, the biggest problem is the banged-up secondary. Rashean Mathis went out with a shin bruise early in midway through the first half, did not return. Reggie Nelson is out. Scott Starks, normally the nickelback, is on injured reserve. They had to play William James out there today, and obviously he got toasted a couple times, both on the Steve Slayton touchdown pass and on another touchdown pass later on in the game. So the Jaguars have definitely got some issues now with the secondary, much more so than ever before. And as you said, with Denver and Pittsburgh both coming up, it's going to be a challenge for defensive coordinator Greg Williams. Today, the Jaguars tried all kinds of blitzes. They tried double cornerback blitzes 5 or 6 times. They tried blitzing the linebackers, Darrell Smith sometimes, Mike Peterson sometimes, and they just could not get home. They could not get to Matt Schaub, one of the worst quarterback ratings in the NFL, and today he looked like an all-pro.
No question. And don't forget the lack of the pass rush. Schaub had too much time in the pocket to throw. They started Derek Harvey. That was his first start. Didn't make that much of a difference. Right now, anyway, those trades for Harvey and Groves, which cost them 4 draft picks, and the trade for Williamson cost them a 5th draft pick. Those are 5 players. Maybe that could help them right now. So those 2 moves, at least as of right now, aren't panning out. And Greg Williams, the joke in Washington was the second genius for genius. He hasn't looked like a genius so far this year. Now remember, this defense also gave up 50 points in the last 5 quarters in the playoffs. So maybe the defense is just getting old. 3 of the frontline guys in defensive line are left over from the Coughlin era. They may have some deep-seated problems in defense. The
positive side for the Jaguars is, despite the Fred Taylor and Maurice Jones-Drew not feeling up to snuff, despite tight ends dropping passes, despite other issues with this offense, David Garrard was able to bail them out. And that's you just paid David Garrard an $18 million signing bonus, gave him a $60 million contract. Today, David Garrard earned his money.
No question, and he's done it for 2 weeks in a row. Which is kind of ironic because Byron Leftwich is coming to town next Sunday night. But it's hard to argue with the decision to go with David last year, although they probably waited too long to pull the trigger on that. But without him, they could be 0-4 right now.
Now, speaking of being 0-4, if you're a Jaguars fan right now, the first quarter of the season is over. You're 2-2. Easily 1 play away in 2 games from being 0-4, and also 1 play or maybe 2 plays away from being 4-0. So the Jaguars are probably got the record that they deserve right now. They've brought each of these 4 games down to the wire, but they were able to escape here 2-2. More importantly, they're still 2-1 in the AFC South Division. So there's still hope that maybe they can catch the Tennessee Titans if the Titans can somehow stumble down the road. But going into a very tough part of the schedule now. Pittsburgh next week, and then at Denver the week after that, before the bye week. The Jaguars have definitely got to get at least a split of those 2 games, and maybe if they can be 2-0. But right now, the glass for the Jaguars is half full. Reporting from the Jacksonville Municipal Stadium after a 30-27 overtime win, this is Gene Frenette and Vito Stellino for Jacksonville.com.